Minnesota Vikings season may well come down to an imposing two-game road trip to start the month. The Purple head on the road to New England and Seattle with a precarious two-game hold on the wild card spot while still within shouting distance of Chicago, first place in the NFC North. Minnesota in the land of clam chowder and Tom Brady-endorsed Uggs. And in the first quarter, Uggs leads him down the field and hands to James Devlin for the touchdown. That was the first two TD runs for him as New England goes up 7-0. The Vikings looking for an answer with Dan Bailey. Stop me if you've ever heard this. A Viking kicker misses a field goal. Would this be a bad time to mention that the guy they cut earlier in the season has been like the best kicker in the AFC the last few weeks? Yeah, it's not a good time for Mike Zimmer. Never is with kickers. But it is a good time in the second quarter when Kirk Cousins connects with Adam Thielen for a 5-yard touchdown. It's 10-7. Vikings eventually would tie things up in the third quarter when Brady makes some history. 24 yards to Josh Gordon. He passes Brett Favre for third most touchdowns in NFL history with 508. More importantly, his team goes up 17-10. In the fourth, Vikings down 2 scores. They need a break, and they get one. Big interception by Eric Kendricks, so Minnesota still has some hope. The hope lasts for about 20 seconds. Cousins looking to the end zone for Aldrick Robinson. Cousins didn't really have a great game today, although you can't really blame this pick on him. It was kind of bad luck. Bad luck was the name of the game for the Vikings basically today as they fall by a final of 24-10. They go to 6-5-1. Brady, to hold the Patriots to 24 points, it's not a bad effort. They actually got the interception, which was Brady's first pick in about 185 attempts. The Viking offense really couldn't do much. Despite all that, Mike Zimmer not about to wave the white flag.
I feel fine about my team. Yeah, I think I think we continue to learn a lot about ourselves. I think we got, I think we got a good football team. We just got to, play better than we did tonight.
A good job in coverage, and certainly we made some mistakes, but I think they just did a good job playing their scheme.
Well, things are even worse for the Vikings' chief rival in Green Bay today, where after an embarrassing 20-17 home loss to Arizona, the Packers immediately fired Mike McCarthy after the game. McCarthy went 125-77-2 in 13 seasons with Green Bay and won Super Bowl 45 back in 2010. But the relationship between he and that guy, Aaron Rodgers, seems to have soured over time, and so have their results. And also that Viking loss today, really a missed opportunity because the Giants stunned Chicago in overtime, 30-27, so the Vikings miss an opportunity to get a little bit closer in the NFC North standings. There you see once again that Green Bay score pretty much knocks them out of any playoff contention. Elsewhere in the NFL, Zach Zenner with a carry and 7 yards as his Lions fall to the Rams. Denver creeping back into the playoff picture. They win at Cincinnati. And Kansas City in their first game without Kareem Hunt still manages to score 40 points as they knock off Oakland to get to 10-2. Well, in college football, as expected, Mother Nature and the Duquesne Dukes themselves really never stood a chance of slowing down South Dakota State in the second round of the FCS playoffs yesterday. And as they were putting the finishing touches on their 51-6 victory, Georgia started to be on the mind of the Jacks. During SDSU's game, Kennesaw State kicked a late field goal over Wofford to secure a 13-10 win, which means that they'll host the Rabbits next week just outside of Atlanta. In just their 4th year of football, the Owls have become a powerhouse. They made the quarterfinals last year and are 11-1 this season behind a triple-option rushing attack that averaged 356 yards per game. Though the Jackrabbits will have to leave the friendly confines of D&J Dykhouse Stadium, they have to like their chances down south behind their own running game, which rolled up more than 300 yards yesterday.
We knew coming into this more than likely we'd have to go down there if we got the job done today. We're going to do what we do. The game plan, we're still going to run what we run. It'll be a little warmer, obviously. Not going to have to play in so much snow down there. But, we're going to go 1-0 this week, and then that'll lead up to being 1-0 next Saturday.
It'd be a new place for us. We don't go there to sightsee. We're going to go down there for one reason, and to play our best football up to this date. And so I know they're a good football team. I know they're a triple option team. They've done a really good job. I look forward to that competition.
Competition will be on Saturday at 1 o'clock. You can watch it on ESPN3. We'll, of course, have plenty of coverage all week long leading into the game. Well, bowl game pairings are out in the FBS, and several regional teams will be busy over the holidays. PJ Fleck's 6-6 Minnesota Golden Gophers are heading to the Quick Lane Bowl for a second straight year at Ford Field in Detroit against 7-5 Georgia Tech on December 26th at 4:15. 2 days later, on December 28th, the 8-4 Iowa State Cyclones will be in San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl against the 10-2 Washington State Cougars at 8 o'clock. And finally, the 8-4 Iowa Hawkeyes, with former USF Cougar Kyle Gruneweg right there, are off to Florida, where they play 8-4 Mississippi State on New Year's Day in the Outback Bowl in Tampa at 11 a.m. Well, making the NCAA volleyball tournament was an historic moment for South Dakota, one which they hope has set some precedent for making future trips a little more routine. Despite being swept in the tournament by Creighton and saying goodbye to 4 seniors, USD has plenty to be proud of after a 21-10 season, which saw them finally break through to make the big dance, which should certainly help the returning players as well as recruiting.
To finally be able to pull that out and get that feeling of really what that means and the excitement around it and the pride that comes with it is huge for the underclassmen, the people that are coming back.
The seniors left a lot for us to learn from. Honestly, just being gritty, going after everything, playing one match at a time and getting better as matches go on. So I think going forward into next year, we can really learn to start matches and build as the match goes on.
As for Sioux Falls native Taryn Cloth, one night after defeating USD, her Creighton career came to an end at the hands of 22nd-ranked Washington, who they were swept by in the second round. Bittersweet moment for Cloth, who now moves on to LSU to play beach volleyball.
So many other teams would like to be in the position that we're in. So I think we are all really grateful that we have such great teammates, such a great coaching staff, such a great atmosphere to play in, and Creighton has been amazing. I can't believe it's over. When they say 4 years flies, it does.
Finally, the Sioux Falls Skyforce did some flying on the road in California for a matinee at Stockton. First quarter, Yanti Mayton inside with the slam. He was just getting started on a big day. Second quarter, Briante Weber with a nice bullet pass to Raphael Putney as the Skyforce take the lead. Then in the third quarter, more from Mayton. He'll get the and-one bucket here on the nice hook shot. He had 42 points, and the Skyforce would put it into high gear later. It's Weber to Rodney Purvis for the Jimma Jamma, as the Skyforce get a nice win on the road, 113 to 108. We're back in one moment.